all the technical accomplishments we have done over our careers creep up on us. And you don't remember the blood, sweat, and tears and the toil, and it's sort of done and you're not done. But they're like a blob, so they're hardly ever a highlight. I've won some technical awards in my career. I mean, some Army awards and some professional awards. And don't ask me why, this seems more significant. And it just is. I can't tell you why, it's just moved me significantly. Many people I know think I've had a charmed career. And so my employment, my 36 years with the government, and I am still partially, working quasi for the government still, has been wonderful. Yes, there were bumps in the road, there always are, nothing is perfect. But I guess you don't remember the bad times, but I've had wonderful people to work with, and I guess that makes it, that's so important. If you dislike the people you're working with, coming to work is work. I never thought going to the office was work. And this has to be important because it happened on my 30th birthday, which is a long time ago. My wife had a surprise birthday party. And my colleague and boss at the time came to it, and his present to me was the presentation copy of my first patent. To me, it was a big deal, and I guess thinking about it, I still remember it, it's still a big deal. And these are the kinds of things you remember. And all these things had impact, second and third generation, because it has to go from the Army labs into a product somewhere, and that's never direct. But it makes it there, and that gives you a warm feeling. For the longest time, GPS was, especially for non-aviation military users, was thought of as a luxury and not a necessity. Just like, I bet you 20 years ago, people say, who's gonna want a cell phone? And now who leaves their house without them? It's the same kind of thing it has become. And now, because GPS is so important, we are spending a lot of time, money, and effort to ensure it. And interestingly enough, for the military and for the commercial sector, the primary use of GPS is for time, not for location. And interesting, my first 20 years with the Department of the Army was in the time and frequency world. People said, now that GPS is here, we don't need you guys anymore. And now because of GPS, we are actually becoming critical because they want to retain that if GPS is messed with. So everything comes full circle. It's very interesting. Trying to explain to management the relevance of the government laboratories. Because we develop stuff, and I won't use the jargon of TRLs, and we develop the stuff to a certain level of technical maturity. We in the government don't produce anything. We don't build anything. We don't sell anything. So the various corporate entities in the world need to take these technologies, absorb it, and actually produce stuff using it. And that linkage is not always apparent. And certain managers I've had didn't believe just because we proved something could be done and that something gets incorporated here, you don't get any credit for that. And so my biggest challenge, both internal and external, is trying to, not prove, that's not the right word, trying to extol the virtues of the government laboratories, because there's a tremendous amount of work that gets done and not always sees the benefit. And I believe, and this interview may dispel that statement, but communication skills are equal to technical skills. So learn everything you can about the technology you're working on, which unfortunately I don't see today, and learn how to speak and write and open your mouth in public and at meetings if you have something to say. Don't hide. And these are things that I don't see in the up and coming people today. I don't know why. I just don't see it. We are all not born brilliant, and I claim to be one of those people not born brilliant. And Einstein had this quote that he's not brilliant, he's just incredibly curious. Lifelong learning. Just because you left school, that just was the beginning.